to play key roles at commencement. One faculty member is chosen to speak to the class, and our BAs and Masters graduating classes chose their representative student speakers. So for the faculty speaker, the classes of 2025 elected Professor Paula Lantz. So as beloved as Paula is by our students, I'd wager to say she has earned even more esteem and affection from her faculty and staff colleagues. She's been a leader at the Ford School since joining our faculty, serving multiple terms as our Associate Dean before becoming the director of our undergraduate programs. Paula is a distinguished social demographer and epidemiologist who studies the role of public policy in improving population health and reducing social disparities in health. I am delighted to welcome her now to speak on behalf of our faculty.
Greetings to everyone, and first to my wonderful faculty and staff colleagues, Senator Slotkin and other distinguished guests, to the family and friends assembled here today, and most of all, Ford School graduates. It's all about you today. I am deeply honored and humbled to be here at this podium on this very special day. I'm here with my water and my tissues and my heart on the sleeve of this giant weird robe. Honestly, it's really an overwhelming time to stand in front of a group of people. What a time to be graduating with a degree in public policy, right? The past 105 days have brought an unprecedented deluge of federal government policy, executive orders, and administrative actions with enormous ripple effects across the country and the world. It's indeed a crazy and confusing and foggy time, and there's much to say. In my time today, however, I want to remind you about three simple things. I'm the third person to get up here and say I had three things. And there's some themes, but it's my own little spin on the three things I want to remind you about. First, in the broad field of public policy, we are constantly striving to recognize and work across difference. That's what we're about, right? And of course, some of these differences and disagreements derive from partisan ideological differences in politics. However, right now, the biggest issues before us in the United States, with reverberations throughout the world, derive from many other things. They're not partisan. The biggest issues, I think, in front of us right now include issues related to power, the abuse of power, and the response of our democratic institutions. The quashing of objective policy analysis and scientific research needed to inform policy agendas and policy design. Public administration. What's the optimal size, design, and work of administrative branches of government? And public service. What does it mean to be a dedicated and competent public servant working in the interest of the public good? It's an understatement to say there's a lot going on in public policy right now. But the first thing I want to emphatically say to all of you is that you are indeed prepared for the hard work in front of this country and the world. And you're prepared because of all the pillars of your Ford School education, your deep knowledge of the complex issues of the day, your sophisticated skills in objective policy analysis and policy design, your adroit communication and leadership skills, your ability to articulate the role of values and ethics in public decision-making, and your dedication to public service and the public good. There's a lot at stake and much to be done. And for me to say this is not a partisan statement. The work ahead of all of you is about doing what is right for the public good. It's about improving the role of government and public policy in the lives of all people and all communities, making it more effective, making it more efficient, and yes, making it more equitable, which we all know can be done without burning it all down. You're prepared for reform and change, for building and strengthening, for innovation and progress. You are ready. Do you feel ready? You are ready. All right. And in taking on this important work, I want to remind you to really lean into your own personal brand of leadership to make a positive difference. And this comes from knowing and understanding your own core values and personal mission or calling, your own North Star, or the bright light that guides you towards your goals. Oh God, she said North Star. How cliche, right? But bear with me for just one moment. I recently went to a show at the University of Michigan Planetarium, 2 blocks down the street, and I was reminded about the very special nature of the North Star. The North Star, or Polaris, is one of the brightest stars we can see in the northern hemisphere sky. But the polar star has a much more important property than being bright. Polaris does not move in the sky. It sits above the North Pole, and it stays grounded, fixed, and secure while everything else in the sky moves around it. Polaris for centuries has served as a beacon for nomads, for brave explorers, and for ships upon stormy seas. Not only because it's bright, but it stays fixed, and thus helps to guide and navigate, to reach destinations, and to survive. Graduates, you are heading out on voyages towards many important destinations: reducing child poverty, reforming the carceral state, improving education quality and opportunities, environmental justice work, creating effective economic, energy, healthcare, and housing policies, development work in the global south, protecting human and civil rights, fair and just immigration policy, international security and diplomacy, public interest law, addressing structural inequality and racism. I could go on. There's so much more you're going to go out and do in the world. As you head towards your envisioned destinations, please stay focused on your own personal North Star for grounding, guidance, and navigation. Keep reminding yourself about where you're headed and why. Stay true to what brought you to this field and the Ford School in the first place, and why you are seeking to make positive public change. It's your own individual bright light of leadership that will stay fixed and guide you through all kinds of fog and storms as the crazy earth keeps turning. And third, please take the time to take care of yourselves. When I was a young mom with 2 little kids and a full-time job working in state government while trying to finish my PhD dissertation, I had a note on my refrigerator that said, "Never confuse having a career with having a life." Today, I'm going to revise that a little bit and say to you, never confuse taking time for family, friends, and self-care as a sign of privilege or weakness. You are all going to be working very hard to make the world a better place. Wherever your journey is taking you next, you'll be working in unpredictable, unstable, and challenging times. So you're absolutely going to need to take the time to recharge, refresh, and regroup. We all know the saying, just because you can carry the weight doesn't mean it's not heavy. So what are the things that give you inner peace, that help you sleep, and help you refresh? Right now, I want you all to just take a deep breath and think of the people who mean so much to you, including your family, of course. And also, who are your 40 friends you don't want to lose contact with as the winds blow you in lots of different directions? Take the time you need to keep all of your treasured relationships healthy and strong, and to be in contact with the people who bring you love, energy, and joy. For me, now this is the part I'll probably need the tissue, you all bring me amazing energy and joy. And please indulge me just one example. Recently, I got to tag along with the wonderful Professor John Hansen and 15 Ford School undergrads on a trip to Brussels for a week of very intense meetings at NATO and the European Union. At the end of a serious and exhausting week, it was so rejuvenating for me to hang out with a group in a bar called Delirium, drinking Belgian beer, being amazed by Liza's magic tricks. That woman has skills, and quizzing students on their knowledge of rock bands from the 70s and 80s and who was the best Beatle. It's George Harrison, by the way. All right, so please take the time to nurture and grow your hobbies and talents. Keep baking, writing fiction or poetry, play your instrument, paint, and please stay physically active, both for your physical and your mental health. Play soccer, hockey, pickleball, go salsa dancing, kayaking, bowling, yoga, hiking, whatever gets your body moving. And pro tip from someone who's way older than you, if you're a runner, stretch before and after. All right, to summarize, you're graduating with a degree in public policy at an unprecedented time in American and world politics and governance. However, I truly believe that all the thousands of impressive people who are graduating from the University of Michigan this weekend, you are the most prepared to navigate the current world and make a difference. Of course, your faculty and staff like to think we help prepare you for this hard work ahead, but much of the work in front of you is very personal as well. So please stay true to your core values and your leadership goals, to your own personal mission and polar star. Do the hard and exhausting work, but also do what you need to do to stay happy and healthy, spiritually, mentally, and physically. A character in Toni Morrison's novel, Song of Solomon, said, "If you surrendered to the air, you could ride it." So to all of you beautiful 40s, surrender to the air and winds, which are gusty AF at the moment, and ride them. Ride the winds that are going to take you to amazing places and allow you to keep having a meaningful and positive influence on the communities that you care about and the public good. Thank you for sharing your hearts and minds and North Stars with the Ford School community. I am beyond grateful that your winds carried you to Ann Arbor, and I'm so eager and proud to see where they carry you next. Thank you.